Welcome back to our Tales channel, where we uncover stories that reflect life, love, and the hard choices people face every day. In today's story, we dive into the world of wealth, privilege, and the hidden struggles behind glittering marriages. It's a tale of Mary, a hardworking woman who thought she was marrying into comfort, only to find herself trapped in a battle she never expected. Before we begin, please take a moment to hit that subscribe button, like this video, and drop a comment below. Every interaction helps the algorithm recommend our content to more viewers across the world, ensuring these stories reach those who need to hear them. Jay was born into old money, the cherished only son of Lagos socialites who had built their reputation on wealth, glamour, and connections. From birth, he was surrounded by luxury, chauffeured cars, grand parties, and vacations abroad were simply part of his upbringing. His parents adored him, yet their affection often came in the form of indulgence rather than discipline. To society, Jay was a golden child, a living extension of his family's legacy. But beneath the polished image, he grew up sheltered, never having to fight for anything, never learning responsibility. His name and fortune seemed to guarantee everything. Despite his privileged upbringing, Jay lived a life with no real sense of direction or ambition. Nights were wasted in dimly lit clubs, where music drowned out the silence of his unfulfilled potential. Days blurred into hours spent gaming, locked away in virtual worlds where effort and consequence barely mattered. When he wasn't gaming, he mindlessly scrolled through the internet, consuming content without purpose. Surrounded by opportunities, he never reached for any of them. His wealth became both a cushion and a trap, shielding him from reality but also keeping him stagnant, drifting through life with no clear goals. His reputation. A spoiled, Nepo baby, the kind everyone whispered about in Lagos social circles. Jay would land jobs easily, thanks to his parents' influence, but he never lasted long. The moment the workload increased or the responsibilities became real, he walked away, dismissing it all as too stressful. To outsiders, it looked like laziness wrapped in entitlement. Employers stopped taking him seriously, and friends joked that his career was simply quitting. He wore that Nepo baby label like a shadow he couldn't shake, proof that without his family's wealth, Jay lacked the drive to build anything on his own. Lagos big girls from wealthy families had little patience for Jay. To them, he was entertaining at first, handsome, charming, and the son of socialites, but the illusion quickly faded. They mocked him behind his back, saying he was stingy and unwilling to spend on them the way other rich men did. His trust fund, carefully managed, wasn't enough to sustain their designer cravings, exotic trips, and endless luxury demands. He couldn't keep up with their fast, extravagant lifestyle, and when he refused to bend, they labeled him cheap. One after another, they left, moving on to men who funded their desires. So when the news broke that Jay was getting married, Lagos high society was stunned into disbelief. For years, he had been the poster boy of failed romances, drifting from one glamorous breakup to another. His name was often paired with scandal, not commitment, so the idea of him settling down felt almost unreal. Whispers spread through exclusive clubs and dinner parties, with people wondering who the mysterious woman was and what spell she had cast on him. Some were curious, others envious, but most were simply shocked that the city's most unserious bachelor was finally walking down the aisle. At the wedding, many socialites gathered. It was the event of the season, a dazzling spectacle that demanded attention. The venue itself was a masterpiece. Chandeliers glimmered overhead, gold accents lined the hall, and a live band filled the air with timeless love songs. Guests arrived in droves, dressed in their most extravagant asoebi, determined to outshine one another. The Shote name carried weight, and no one wanted to miss a chance to be seen at such a grand affair. Prominent businessmen, oil magnates, fashion icons, and celebrities graced the occasion, turning the wedding into more of a society parade than a solemn union. Meanwhile, social media exploded. Pictures and clips of the glamorous event flooded Instagram and X, with hashtags trending within hours. Many users expressed envy at the opulence, Mary's gown, Jay's regal look, the endless luxury on display. The wedding cemented itself as a headline moment. For Lagos society, it was the wedding they never expected to see. For the Shotes, it was relief disguised in glitter. Beneath the sparkling lights and flowing champagne, their smiles carried more exhaustion than joy. Years of watching Jay stumble through failed romances and reckless living had weighed heavily on them. Whispers about their son's immaturity tarnished the family's carefully curated image. So this wedding was not just a celebration, it was redemption, a chance to quiet gossip and restore dignity to their name. Every detail, from the guest list to the luxury decor, was a statement: their son had finally settled. Yet, privately, their happiness was simply relief masked as grandeur. Her name was Mary, and unlike the women Jay had previously chased, she carried herself with quiet strength and dignity. She worked at a reputable oil company, building her career with discipline and determination. Her income was comfortable, her lifestyle modest, and she was proud of the independence she had earned. To many, she was the perfect balance: educated, hardworking, and grounded in reality rather than show. She was not dazzled by Jay's family name or his privileged background. Instead, she approached life with practicality. To the Shotes, she seemed like the anchor their drifting son desperately needed. Jay was thrilled she said yes, almost as if he had finally won a prize life had long denied him. For years, rejection had been the soundtrack of his relationships, rich daughters of the elite dismissing him as stingy, unambitious, and spoiled. But Mary was different. She didn't flinch at his quirks, nor did she demand the endless luxuries that other women insisted on. To Jay, her acceptance felt like validation. He even recalled a podcast he once listened to during one of his long, idle nights. The invited guest had boldly declared, "Rich men should marry women from humble homes. They'll respect you more than entitled rich girls." The words had stuck with him, not because they were profound, but because they justified his frustrations with wealthy women who never gave him lasting affection. Marrying Mary, in his mind, was not just love, it was strategy. He believed he had outsmarted the system, securing a partner who would admire him for who he was, not for what he could buy. To Jay, it felt like the beginning of a new chapter, one where he could finally silence the world's doubts and prove everyone wrong.